Hi, friends. This is retired Colonel Rob Manus. You know, Bill Weiser's anti Trump lawfare is turbocharging China. He's the attorney general of Colorado, and he has a problem. And it isn't just a polling problem. He's getting crushed in his early primary race against Senator Michael Bennet for the Colorado governor's mansion, and the panic is already starting to show. Instead of focusing on the needs of Colorado's families, Weiser's turned his taxpayer funded office into a campaign headquarters for anti Trump lawfare. His latest stunt, playing anti Trump politics with national security, even if it means helping China at America's expense. Yep, that's how far today's Democrat attorneys general have fallen. They'd rather see China eat America alive than admit that Donald Trump is right about strengthening America's ability to compete with and protect the free world from the Chinese Communist Party, what we call the CCP. Weiser recently led a coalition of Democratic attorneys general to accuse Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Trump Justice Department of corruption for approving a merger between two American telecom companies, HPE and Juniper Networks. He's even trying to get a judge to undo the deal. Well, what Weiser didn't mention is that the U.S. intelligence community itself urged that merger because it found the deal critical to containing or defeating Huawei, the CCP controlled telecom behemoth accused of embedding some surveillance backdoors into its technology. Huawei dominates global telecom infrastructure, powering 5G networks and laying the foundation for future artificial intelligence systems. Put another way, friends, it's dominating everything that's needed for economic and defense superiority in the future. National security officials have warned for years that Huawei's reach gives Beijing an unprecedented ability to spy, steal data, and manipulate communications worldwide. That's why Trump's Justice Department and the intelligence community approved the HPE Juniper deal to help build up U.S. capabilities and prevent China from controlling the backbone of tomorrow's technology. Even Axios, often not a friend to us conservatives, reported that senior intelligence officials described the merger as, and I quote, critical to countering Huawei in China, close quote. In other words, this wasn't about enabling corporate cronyism. It was about keeping America safe. And now Bill Weiser wants to undo that national security decision. He's literally asking a judge to overturn a merger that the intelligence community said would strengthen America and protect our technological sovereignty. Why? Politics. Weiser knows already at this early stage he's trailing badly in his primary against Bennett. He's trying to score headlines with the Democratic base by attacking anything with Trump's fingerprints on it. If Trump did it, he has to oppose it, even if Beijing benefits. That's called putting ambition at America's expense. And frankly, it's embarrassing. The China gambit is just one part of a broader pattern of political lawfare on the part of Weiser. For example, on immigration, he has repeatedly broken federal law in pursuit of political theater and progressive virtue signaling. As Heritage Foundation legal fellow Hans A. von Spakowski documented, Weiser sued local deputies in Colorado for sharing immigration information with federal agents. Although this completely violated a law that prohibits the states from restricting communication with federal immigration authorities. He still attacked those who cooperated, all just to burnish his progressive credentials. Beyond undermining the rule of law, Colorado's top lawyer also undermined public safety, all just to opportunistically chase a viral moment in a crowded Democratic primary. Even neutral lawyers are calling him out. Speaking about Weiser's activism against the HPE Juniper case, one attorney told a nonpartisan legal reporter, quote, it seems like a political move from Weiser who has aspirations of higher office, close quote. The two other attorneys interviewed agreed. None saw a legitimate legal reason for his intervention. This is pure politics, folks, weaponizing the justice system to advance a campaign narrative. America's ability to compete with China in telecommunications and artificial intelligence, that's existential to our survival. Whoever controls the next generation of network infrastructure controls the data, the power, and the future. The HPE Juniper deal was one of many smart, forward looking national security moves under Trump, alongside cracking down on Chinese espionage in our universities and semiconductor supply chains, among many other smart, tough on China policy decisions. Weiser's attempt to unravel that progress tells you everything about today's Democrat Party. They're so obsessed with erasing Trump's legacy that they'd rather knife America's technological defenses than stay mum or admit the president was right. Colorado voters should take note. If Weiser is willing to jeopardize national security just to score a few primary season sound bites, just imagine what he'd do with the governor's office. Colorado deserves an attorney general who defends America, not China, and a governor who puts the people, not his political ambitions, first. Until then, the message from voters should be loud and clear. Stop using Trump hatred as an excuse to play politics with taxpayer money. Because while Phil Weiser keeps the needless Trump hatred going, the Chinese Communist Party is laughing all the way to global dominance. In response, Colorado should laugh Weiser out of the polls and, when possible, out of public service entirely, because he consistently serves China and the radical left's interest, not their own, even as President Trump is about to sit down with President Xi.